questions for Meredith Maier, who's coming off a career high at 11 points.
Talk about this. Was there something that made you, did the switch just flip when you're taking on Southern Miss, you've been in that position where you're close and you've not maybe been able to get over that imaginary line or that hump? Was there something that just flipped that, okay, this isn't happening again, we're taking them out, we're going to go and finish the job?
I'd say we were definitely hungry to win, so that was a big factor. I think the way my teammates got me the ball, they got me in the right position, and they knew that I could score from that level. So I think they had confidence in me, which gave me confidence in myself. And then I would say just like I've been practicing a lot on my shot just because I have not been shooting as well as I'd like to. So I think me knowing that I can make these and just having more confidence in myself has kind of helped us get that win just from me hitting those threes.
Now, how do you carry this over to the road trip to make sure that it's not just a one-time, okay, we got the victory, great. You carry over and you build on that. What do you need to do this week to make sure that this carries over?
Definitely staying hungry, and I think we all are. After this, we got this win, I don't think we want to lose again. And I think we're just going to keep grinding and prepare the next few days to travel and see where it takes us because I think we're still very hungry.
With 1 month left to go in conference play, how much of this win on Saturday is a way to kind of maybe start turning the tide after the 4 games get to maybe go forward for the last month and try to get some momentum heading into the tournament?
I'd say just persevering because I think we know how it feels to have those losing games. So I think now that we got this win under our belt again, I think we can just keep moving forward from it.
How important was this win, knowing that you're capable of competing in this league and the win-loss record maybe not indicating that? So was this a turning point, you think, for this program? How big was this win for you?
It was definitely big just because of our record before. So I think getting that, like I said, getting that win under our belt, I think that kind of just gave us more confidence because I think we already knew that we could play with anybody in this league, but like you said, their win-lose streak wasn't really showing it. And I think after getting that win under our belt, it just gives us more confidence because we know we can play with anybody in this league.
Especially Southern Miss, one
yes.
of the better teams, and of course Marshall and Southern Miss have history.
Mm-hmm.
So was there anything special about that, a little extra emphasis on this one among the locker room?
Not necessarily. I think coming from the same conference and coming to this conference, I think we wanted to beat them just as bad as we did when we were in the other conference. So.
Part of some good teams at Fairmont. So is there anything from those teams that you've kind of like taken to Marshall here or anything?
Well, I'm a West Virginia girl, so I definitely say being from West Virginia, it's kind of like I want to protect this state a little bit almost, like it's like home territory. So just like that grittiness, I'm just always hungry to win and always hungry to beat people. So.
And then you all went to Hillbilly Hot Dogs yesterday. So
yes, we
did. Fun as a team off the court as well.
Yes, it was a very fun experience. I'd never been there. It was very interesting.
What'd you order?
Chicken tenders and fries. I'm not much of a hot dog girl, but the fries were delicious. I will have to say I was very impressed.
Will you venture back in the future, maybe try a hot dog?
Yeah, I think so. It depends on the mood I'm in, I think. Maybe in the summer. I think it'd be fun to just go there with friends and stuff over the summer when we're doing summer workouts. So maybe we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
Yep.
Anything else for Meredith? Thank you.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do I go this way or that way?
Oh, sure.
Don't shut that.
We got a new rule for you this week.
Quit doing that.
Yeah,
I
we're
know.
doing that.
I barely even touch it.
All right, opening statement from Coach Kemper.
Yeah, so it was, we definitely got a much-needed win on Saturday against a quality opponent in Southern Miss, who, was at the top of the league standings. So that one, we needed to play well, and we needed to get over the line at the end. And so proud of them for doing that. How we got it done, I think maybe a little bit, that's a good defensive team, so it doesn't surprise me that it was hard for us to score throughout the day. If you look at what they've done throughout the year, it's been hard for anybody to score on them. But I did think as the game played out, I was like, we typically go on a pretty good run at some point in every game we've played, and we did that again out of the start of the fourth quarter, and then we held on for dear life down down the stretch, got just enough offense, and it was an interesting game just from a down at the end there, the way it played out. There was no free throws, there was no anything. So I think we only had the ball twice. We scored the one, called a timeout with a minute to go. They had a long possession that ended in a three. We had a long possession that ended up, the turnover that we got back. So it was just kind of, we did play, decent offense down the stretch. We only had 2 possessions. We scored one of the 2. So it's usually pretty hard at the end to score, and we got just enough done to feel good about it. So that was good. I'd kind of decided on Friday, he talked about going out to Hillbilly. Hot dogs, they're doing a cool thing sponsoring the made threes. If we hit 10 threes in a game here, you get a free hot dog with your ticket. So I've wanted to get out there and see them. And I decided really Friday, our team had really battled for a long time and didn't have a lot to show for it. And I thought on Friday, I've heard a lot of pro guys talk about decide what you're going to do after the game, before the game happens, and then stick with that. So don't be so emotional about results. And I just decided on Friday, I don't give a lot of days off, and they know that. I just decided it's kind of the midpoint. It's not the exact midpoint in the conference season, but I thought, win or lose, this will be a decent time to just maybe try to take a step back and reset our minds. And it was really good to do it because we got to win. And so they got a little bit longer break. We're getting ready to go downstairs and work Louisiana Monroe, which will be a tough test on the road against a team I know that will want to play well at home. So good ending to last week, and I think we're off to a good start this week, but we got to get to work.
What does Monroe do so well that's going to be a challenge?
I think they're just generally a tough team. When you look at them, they're kind of at the first part of building a program. They've got a really good post player, Emma Merriweather, that I think it starts from there and it works its way out. They're a little bit unique in that I think it is hard. They have a lot of players that are averaging 8 to 10-ish. So it's a little bit, some teams you can say, if we can keep her from having a good game, you're going to play well. They have multiple people that can be that person. So that sometimes can be tricky from a preparation standpoint because you've got to be a little wiggly about, okay, they're doing this well now, and we've got to adjust to that and take it away. So, but they have multiple people that can score well. But I think it's going to be hard for us to score on them. They look physical. They look tough to me. And then they have the Merriweather kid who says 6'5", and she looks every bit of that when you watch her on film. So I think that's the challenge ahead.
Size really hasn't been an issue for your team. It's more just putting it together consistently.
Yeah, I think, we aren't super long. I mean, that's true. And I don't think it's been a 40-minute problem. Size has been a problem in, I thought it was a problem in like an 8-minute stretch against Troy, but it was a problem in that 8-minute stretch. The other 32 minutes, it wasn't. So, but I think that comes down to our consistency. And so when we are at our top end mentally, physically, then size doesn't matter. But some of those lulls, it's cost us a little bit. So, but it's always good to have some length in there. And, shifting to us, it was good to have Mo Matthews back super active on Saturday. She was playing against one of the better post players in the league on Saturday, and it was hard in there for them to. I thought she was just really energetic. She moved really well. Thought she hustled well on the glass and stuff. And she's different than a lot of the post players we're playing. She's not. She's a little faster and longer, but it's hard for her sometimes to move these post off the block, but I thought she did a great job on Saturday. So, we've got to counter it with effort and energy and physically, and then it won't be a thing.
Coach, you talk about being halfway through the conference season. How big is a win like that after that 5-game losing streak to kind of maybe get the ball rolling a little bit into this final month?
Yeah, I know it was big at the time, but I also know it's one game, so I can absolutely tell you that, from my point of view and our players' point of view, I give them a lot of credit for being resilient and reloading multiple times in a row without a lot to show for it. And, and I think I've said this before, I actually think we played pretty well on Thursday. Troy's really good, and so when we backed off a little bit in that one stretch in the third quarter, we just couldn't make it back up. So we gave up a 8-0 run in there somewhere that took it from 5 to 13. They pushed it a little bit higher, and then we pushed back. But it was just they're just good. So we've got to play a 40-minute game, and we've got to be really good. And but the win was important, and that one's over. So now it's a one-game series again where we've got to be good about. I mean, we didn't figure it all out by winning on Saturday. We've got to reset and then understand that Thursday in Monroe is going to be difficult, and we just go one at a time. So important in that moment on Saturday to find a way to win. Hopefully we're a little clearer headed. Hopefully we're a little bit more understanding of what we can do, and then we work towards what does Monroe do well, what are we trying to get done, and then we go do it well.
Now you mentioned Emma Merriweather, 6'5" center. She leads the conference in blocks and rebounds. How much an impact will she have on your offensive and defensive schemes going into the day?
Well, you hope not much, but obviously she does that well, So you've got to scheme against a player like that. We got to try to make it as difficult as we can on her. You can see the shot blocking and the rebounding presence there, but you have to. I mean, we've got to find a way to score it around the rim, And so we're not a big post-up team anyway, so we get it there in a couple different manners. But we've got to figure out a way to understand that she's a presence in there and still figure out a way to play the way we play.
All right, one more question. ULM, they're going into the game on a 4-game losing streak. What's the team's cheer message after ending a 5-game losing streak of your own?
Much of what I just said. I mean, nice win. Okay, that one's done. Here's the next challenge. And I don't think, conference basketball, I guess I watched Virginia Tech men who were on a 7-game losing streak last night, who's coached by a great coach, beat Duke at home. So, what does your record matter? It don't matter much. There's all kinds of good teams. There's all kinds of good players. And so I think much like, we don't really feel like our record is totally indicative of who we are sometimes. I'm sure that we're not worried about their 4-game losing streak, and they aren't either. So it's going to be a game where both teams reset, and ball's going to go up, and they're going to play hard, and we're going to play hard. And who does better what we're trying to do, that's probably who's going to feel good on Thursday night.
Thank you.
Thoughts on AFC Championship this week?
Here we go.
How do you see this one playing out?
Well, we got a high ankle sprain and a pretty important guy. He needs mobility, I think, because that's when he's really good. We're talking about Patrick, my guy Patrick. Obviously, me and Paul and I go round and round this time of year because it's kind of become a rivalry. I thought you guys looked really good the other day. Honestly, you ran the ball well. That's been a bugaboo for us, stopping the run. So I'm a little worried about that. They say it was because of the snow, but I'm not sure I believe that. We've got to stop the run. We got to find a way to cover Jamar. He's absolutely torched us. They've been 3 good games, though, but we're 0-3. So we'll see. I'm surprised that we're favored, but we are. We're at home, I guess. It's going to be fun if we win.
Final score, you think? What do you think?
We got to score a lot if we're going to win. We're not going to – you guys are scoring around 30, I think, and so are we. So I think that's kind of comes down to how mobile is Patrick. So I don't know. 30-27.
Chiefs.
Yeah, I got to go Chiefs. Yeah,
Chiefs.
I'm hopeful. But I think it's going to be a good game. What's your prediction?
I'll go 30-27 Bengals.
Bengals.
I'll just flip.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
I understand. I know we got to score to beat you. I don't think we can keep you guys 17, something like that. Burrow's been too good against us every time he's played. So, and that's kind of how we play anyway. It's a track meet.
Well, will Mahomes' injury be the excuse when?
I'm not sure I made excuses last time. Have I? I think it's a thing, right? He's a lot different quarterback the other day than what he is for real. So, it's not – I think it's true. If isn't moving well, that changes our team, So I guess you can call that an excuse. I hope when he hikes the ball and he takes off running that he's mobile, because I think that helps us. So, excuse or not, we could use a mobile Patrick. So, should be fun though. I do think they're two obviously really good teams. I think what you guys did to the Bills, I didn't think you could do, and not really. I thought it would be a good game. I think those three teams are the best in the AFC, and obviously the Eagles are playing pretty good on the other side. So, a lot of good teams left in it. All good, all fun. Go Chiefs.
No more questions.
Okay, that's all then. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Sorry for the football analysis.
Good coach.